everyone? Good morning to you. It's 8 o'clock on the start of your Tuesday morning. Glad you're with us for a second. We've got our special guest here this morning. Sheila Brown from WUFO is in the house. Good morning to you, Miss Sheila.
Good morning.
This is so nice because we've got the thorn between the roses.
Yes, exactly. I love it. I love it today. Yes.
Okay, no, but seriously, can we talk about how gorgeous Sheila is? Is she not so beautiful?
You.
I know, gorgeous.
The outfit is on
Dude,
point.
I know. I was like, let me do the red memo.
So funny. Sheila from WUFO, there's so much going on. First of all, tell us how we can tune into WUFO and where we can find you guys.
So we are on Power 96.5 on your FM or 1080 on your AM.
Oh.
And then we stream across the world, which is power965radio.com.
Love that. We'll put a link in the comments here for you.
Beautiful.
This is a big music month for you guys. Tell everybody about that.
Oh my God. So in 1972, President Carter ordained June as Black Music Month.
Okay.
So for the last 20 years, we've been doing Black Music Month. And for probably the last 7 years at M Hotel, formerly the Millennium Hotel in Walden. So we do workshops showing people how to break into the industry. Because, I think so many artists, they want to get their song played on the radio, but they just don't know how it works.
I mean, we're talking like Benny the Butcher. I mean, from Buffalo.
Exactly.
Right?
That's right. And so next Saturday starts Friday. It's going to be workshops. Then we have our A&R listening party where locals can come in. They can do their songs. In the record companies, they're going to be there and they're going to be able to hear them, help them. And then we have the after parties. We got the red carpet. We got more workshops. We got brunch. It is like 15 different elements packed in 3 days.
That's
exciting.
So that's a cool opportunity because I feel like when you're struggling to break into the music business, now let me be very clear, I don't know anything about.
Well, and you also can't sing.
And I can't sing
at all.
I don't want you to die.
Sheila, it's embarrassing. We don't even want to put our
I can't either. I'm behind the scenes too.
But I have to imagine when you're trying to break in, like that's all you want is to be heard and to get in front of the people who are making these decisions.
That is it. And really that weekend, June 21, 22, and 23, they are going to be there. We got people coming all across the country to come and do A&R listening parties. Then Villa Maria is going to do a wonderful 3-hour training to show people how to get their beats on, how to do the bridge to it, how to get it to the record companies, right? So then people who are not interested in it, we're going to have tons of vendors there.
A&R, I'm just kind of speculating here. Maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong. A&R, artist and recording.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Sheila, you are the owner of WUFO. You literally own the radio station, which is so cool. Why is something like this so important for you?
You know what? It is so many times people call the radio station. They're like, can we get our song played? Can we get the song on? But it's like, we're a reporting station. I can't just put any song on the radio. It has to be coded. You got to go to B&R. So now this is the way to really show them. And then this is a way for the community to get dressed up. So we have locals that we're going to be honoring on that Saturday night. So this year we're taking all choir directors like your Bessie Pattersons, your Karen Saxon, your Sharice Freeman, all of these choir directors that have taught so many people the thread of music. So they're going to be honored on Saturday night. And in matter of fact, some people from Channel 7, you guys are going to be here on the red carpet.
Love a red carpet.
Love a red carpet, right? So they're going to be all dressed up. And then that Sunday, we have a brunch because so many people come from out of town. So this is a way that they don't even have to leave out of their hotel.
Right. I was just going to say, you can stay there. You can go to all these events. That's great.
Yeah, John has some video playing from it right now from one of the past events, maybe.
Oh, good.
I think.
Yes.
Which is,
and Gary Hines from Sounds of Blackness, he'll be here. He's going to show people how to, and that was part of that video that you guys almost had on there.
Yeah.
He's going to be here.
Let me ask you this, Sheila, because, Jimmy Carter named this Black Music Month. But it goes beyond that too. I mean, like we're celebrating Juneteenth right now.
Juneteenth, exactly. And that's what I was going to say next. It's part of Juneteenth. Motown. Who doesn't love good Motown music, right? Yeah. And so we bring back all the Motowns. We have the album covers. On Friday, we have like maybe 50 album displays because people are not getting into the art of album like it used to be. That was a big craft.
Do you mean like the physical
The
art that's on
physical,
it?
yes, exactly. You know, so that album cover, you think of like Michael Jackson album cover, Bad, and you open it up and it's like really figures.
Like a poster.
Yeah, exactly, right? So they're not doing that. So we're gonna have a class just on, hey, get back in your craft.
You know what's so interesting? Michael Jackson, the MJ the Musical, now at Shays, and so there are limited tickets. If you're interested, you can find them on Shays' website, Ticketmaster, wherever you want. But the music, it's just, it spans generations. It is so important to kind of look back, but also look to the future.
And look to the future. And I love what I'm starting to hear in the future now, because you know, with Motown, you could really hear them. You got your beats going on.
Right.
I see now they're starting to get back to that more singing, because a minute it was like rap, and now it's like rap overtone with singing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Interesting, because you have such a different perspective, because I just know so little, honestly, about the back end of music.
Well, you're also a country girl too. So a country
I love country.
Yeah, right. Though, too.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Just to hear about like the albums and like the art and things like that. It's so interesting.
It is. It really, really is.
Sheila, can I ask you too? This weekend we have the Juneteenth parade.
Yes.
And are you guys going to be part of it? Tell us a little bit about that.
So yes, we'll be in the parade. We come in, we start decorating our floats. So for 3 times out of Juneteenth, we have a trophy and that we won the float. So we really get into it to figure out what our theme is going to be next. And then after that, we have a tent underneath. It's like a family fun tent where kids can do games and parents are there. We're right across from the main stage.
Okay.
So the parents can be under. So if it rains or if it's too hot, they always know they're going to look for WFO's tent.
And you've got activities for kids.
Got activities for kids under the Juneteenth tent.
Kim says it is just the best music. Yeah, I mean, like when you put it like Tina Turner, Michael Jackson, and you know, Buffalo especially has such history when it comes to Black music,
don't they?
Yeah.
You figure Rick James came
hello,
out, right? And then Aretha Franklin, her father was at Friendship Baptist Church for like 4 years, you know? So you got some amazing people that came out of Buffalo.
You know, Sheila, I got to ask you this, and I'd be remiss if I didn't. After the May 14th shooting, how has WUFO kind of contributed more to the community, or how are you helping to uplift and highlight the voices of that community?
Yeah, so you know, we have talk shows on the air, right? And on Saturdays, called Express Yourself Saturdays. So with the talk show, it has a request line connected to it, and they can call in, and so many of them just sharing their heart on anything. It can be anything, backpacks, food, whatever it is, they can share their heart on Saturday. And we're really there, just like you guys were on 514. You jumped right in. You know, I think every media, everyone just jumped in, and anything you could do to lend a heart, right?
What kind of things are people saying when they call? What message do they want the community to hear from their mouths?
You know what?
About that, how people want to share their message.
Yes, and you know what? Their main thing is they see nothing different on Jefferson. They see no restaurant. They see no big box stores. I grew up on Blaine and Jefferson, right around the corner from Canisius College. And when I grew up, you had Sears and Roebuck right at the corner. And then as you walk down Jefferson, we had nothing but restaurants and stores. We had the movie theater. So, I mean, it was an amazing location at that time. Really, really fine memories of Jefferson Avenue when I was growing up. And I think people want to see it back.
You know, it's interesting because you've taken this little radio station and you've brought it to the world. Really?
Yeah.
How did you single-handedly do that? I mean, obviously you've got a team of people who are working with you, and that's great because you're only as strong as your team.
There you go.
But when you have left Buffalo to bring this to Atlanta, to other markets. Why was that so important? And to kind of bring that to a community that perhaps doesn't have their voices represented all the time.
Yeah. And you know, it's so funny because our station in Atlanta, WIGO, it was a Sheridan Broadcasting station too. So WUFO, I worked for them for years before I brought their company. And they had 4 stations, and WIGO was the last station. And so I said, well, I got to go get her. She's my baby too, right? So when we purchased WIGO, same format as WUFO. Same format, churches, ministry, talk shows, community, the oldest urban station, they're AM, but they were 24 hours.
Wow.
We're AM, we were only sun up, sundown. So it was known as sundown, rundown, right? So
I
when the
love
sun come up, it go. But then we were able to, I know, we were able to add the FM to it. So, you know, it's really important for us to share our narrative and for the community of those zip codes to have an outlet of a station where they can call in. And then if you go to church, you go to supermarket, you're going to see those same
I love
people.
this.
Yeah.
Sheila, I have one more question for you too.
Yes.
You're on the, now we know you're inducted in the Buffalo Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
Yes.
And it wasn't that long ago you were
I
inducted.
know.
And part of your induction video, which I remember watching, was, you know, being a woman and doing all of
Oh,
this.
yes. Hello.
So I just want to talk about that, and maybe because we have some, all the people who join us, they call themselves cuppies, you know.
Oh, I love
Cuppies
that.
are with us today. And some of our younger women, I'd love to hear your message to the women who, you know, maybe want to be in that power seat someday.
Yeah, you know, I tell you, it's only 5 women across the country that own a radio station. We are definitely in a man's world, right? But I started at 21 years old. And before I became owner, I knew so much about the industry, right? And I think with me, I had amazing father. I had amazing uncles. So they always like, oh, you're good, you're this, always positive affirmation. So I think when I sit down at the table, I'm just like, hey, I'm here, right? So I would say to any woman, get a mentor first who really understands the industry, whatever it is you're trying to do, right? And really become a steward of what it is that you're doing. Because the business that I'm in, like you guys know, is forever changing.
Mhm.
It's forever changing. So I have to continue to be a student of my own game. I have to.
You should be so proud of yourself.
Oh,
I mean, really,
you
because
know.
you represent Buffalo in such a grand way.
Thank
And
you.
elegant and graceful. I mean, truly, you are an inspiration for so many people.
Oh,
out
thank
there.
you. I really
It
appreciate
is so
that.
great to see you, Sheila, and thank you for all you do. And once again, just tell everyone where you can actually find WUFO and where we can listen.
Yes. So thank you guys so much for allowing me to come on today and talk a little bit about WUFO. We are located at 143 Broadway, right in the middle of the African American Heritage Corridor. And you can listen to us at 96.5 on your FM or 1080 on your AM dial, or we stream across the world, which is power965radio.com. And if you're in the Atlanta area, we are WIGO 1570 on your AM dial, or WIGO1570.com.
Love
It's
that.
almost like you've had to say that once or twice.
And you've got like the perfect radio
Yeah,
voice
yeah, right,
too.
like,
WIGO.
right?
Sheila Brown,
Yes.
thank you so much
Thank
for
you
coming
guys
in.
so
Sheila.
much.
You
It's
too.
always a pleasure.
Johnny, my boy, in the back has linked you to the radio station here online.
Okay.
So if you are interested in listening, check them out. And
Yes.
So
we
much
look
fun.
forward
And-
to your event.
Yeah, and if you're at the
Yes.
parade this weekend,
Oh, yeah.
stop by the tent.
Stop at the tent.
Check it out.
Yes.
There you go.
There you go.
So much fun.
I love James' comment here. Glad to hear that a good old-fashioned radio station is still up and running. And, you know, we are so fortunate here in Buffalo and Western New York to have resources like WUFO.
No kidding.
Yeah.
So important to uplift all voices on all sides of all issues.
Yeah.
Oh, Sheila, it's so fun to have you on. You may be seeing more of Sheila. month or so.
Sheila, have a great rest of your
You
day.
guys so much. It's always a blast when I can come see you guys.
Aw,
Thank you.
you're so sweet.
Yes,
Great to
thank
hear.
you. Always
Thank you,
good.
Sheila.
You know,
Be
the-
careful with that chair and
Oh,
that
yeah.
platform.
Oh, I know.
It's like
I know, and all the
So
layers.
good.
It's
Yes.
So sweet.
And you know what? If it's anything you guys need for the broadcast, let us know.
Yeah.
Because you know, Leia is there with me. She's doing part-time sales.
Love this.
She is a riot. Oh, I love her. love. Oh, wait. I'm taking the
Oh, that's
Oh,
okay.
that's
John
okay.
will
He's
help
gonna
you
get
out.
it?
Yeah.
okay.
Taking a
All
microphone
right,
with her.
guys.
is
I
what
know.
she's saying.
I'm like walking with the microphone.
Bye, Sheila.
I'll
Thank
see you
Bye,
later,
see you later.
okay?
It's so fun.
All
I'm so
right,
glad
Mike,
to get
there
her
we-
on today.
Oh my God, this is my favorite comment.
What? Oh yeah, I know. Well, you know my caveat with that. If I know people, I am cool with that. And I'm from Sheila.
Oh my God, I love Sheila. Okay, let's talk about this because as you're waking up, maybe thinking about reservations, weekend plans, Father's Day. Maybe you're trying to get away from your kids. You got a double income, no kids. You're a dink, as they call them. What do you think of restaurants setting an age limit for people who are allowed inside? We're talking 30 for women, 35 for men. What happens in that situation? Do we support it? Do we not?
You know what I find interesting is that small age differential between the women and the men, because it almost seems like we're saying we want mature people in the restaurant. 30 for women, 35 for men. That made me laugh.
Okay, well, forget about the men,
and that's
women
a little
thing.
bit funny. No, that's a little bit funny. Where they're like,
probably true.
They're like, we're gonna up that just a little bit for the guys.
But you know what? Like, I don't know.
It's really okay.
I need a sugar daddy.
Okay. Okay, I just also want to address everybody's comments. Like, I do see we didn't have our notification today, so we're going to figure that out. And a couple people saying things aren't working. Julie, let us know what isn't working, and we'll figure that out for you. Okay, so question is, Howard says, the age limit. What is the restaurant providing for those services?
Peace and quiet, no drama.
Ed is on board with this concept because he is one to appreciate a drama-free, child-free also.
Correct.
At times, an environment.
Well, don't get me wrong. Like,
Not all
I
the
love
time.
my nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
I love going out. I love spending time with them.
We
and
know this.
I love being part of a family. But I love good food. And if I'm paying the price, I don't want to hear your kid's iPad. I'm just saying.
So this restaurant, and this is a restaurant in Missouri, it's not here, but they set these age limits. And the idea was they said they didn't want any drama. And they even looped the 20-year-olds into being drama, because you have to be at least 30 to step in the door.
I mean, sometimes there is drama with 20-year-olds, right? Hello, we've got kids here. You see what happens here. Am I wrong? You know exactly what I'm talking about, too.
Oh, my God. And Lauren, of course, who has 2 kids of her own, says, listen, I don't want to go with kids either.
Listen, we went to Giancarlo's a couple of months ago before we went to go see Mateo Lane. We had so much fun. It was just the adults. We had a great time.
Well, and you know what? That is also, it's a huge factor with my friends and I if we're all going to go out, because are the kids coming or not is like the conversation we have. And then beyond that, you pick the right place.
Correct.
And I have to say, like, I know a lot of people don't love the kids at a brewery concept. I've seen people say, I actually think it's a pretty good place for them.
Honestly, it's great.
Because they're usually pretty loud. The ceilings are pretty tall. You've got a lot of people. So as long as they're like focused doing what they're supposed to be doing, they're really not bothering.
Well, and chances are there are games and there are things. I mean, there's a lot going on.
Run around
Right.
space too. Totally. And it's not a weird place to do it, because like you're saying, they're playing cornhole over
Correct,
there.
right.
Mhm.
You can bring your dog sometimes to a brewery.
Right, right.
Hamburg Brewing, I think I was there a couple of months ago. Actually, it's probably a year ago at this point. Jeez.
Yeah.
Dogs were all over the place. It was
Right.
great.
Now, see, Howard disagrees. He says kids shouldn't be in a bar setting.
But is this a bar setting or is this more like a family atmosphere?
I don't know. I think it's a great place personally
I do too.
to go have the kids, just because there's more, like you were mentioning, activity,
Mhm.
outdoor space, and it's not quiet.
You can always count on Jeff Baker for some perspective. Give them a couple beers, they'll quiet down. They'll be out for the count. Kim says, that's crazy. Well, the restaurant won't last, that's for sure. Do you think so? I think this might be a benefit of going out to eat. Like, you cannot bring your kids to this restaurant. In fact, you cannot bring your young adult children either.
Well, and you know what we don't know a little bit more about is like the area this restaurant's in. Like, I'm kind of wondering, is it like a party district area? Do you know what I mean? Where maybe they get the younger kids, like the older college kids who are old enough to drink, but they like to go out, and then they've had some issues in the past. Like,
Sure.
maybe that's part of it. And they're like, we don't want that.
Elizabeth says if we're going on a more date night, then I wouldn't mind under 30 not being there. I agree.
Yeah. And Barbara, I'm kind of with you too. The kids have to learn how to behave in different environments. We're not saying a fancy restaurant, right?
Right.
But we're saying like, yeah, like go out, and they do have to go out to eat, or else they don't know how to do it.
Like, I'm not bringing my kids to 67 West. I'm not bringing Alana to 60 or Bottoms Up. You know what I mean? But Hamburg Brewing, maybe.
67. I spent so much
I'm sure you
time
did.
there growing up.
We're not bringing the kids to Eddie Brady's. Even though as a kid,
That's where we were. No, but like as like young adults, that was one of the best places to go. Their food has gotten pretty good too.
Howard's wondering, where's Bottoms Up? Chippewa.
Oh my God.
They'll be there soon enough,
Is
but
Bottoms
not
Up-
right now.
You're not even gonna remember this. This was so long ago. People were here with me. Did Bottoms Up used to be McMonkey's? Was that the same place? I'm trying to remember.
Wasn't McMonkey's on Delaware and Chippewa where the Westin is right now? Or is that the
No,
purple?
I can't remember. I honestly can't remember. What I can remember is going down for a St. Patrick's Day parade in college and having it just be this like, whew.
James says, remember Fuddruckers? They had a kids section away from the bar and would hire entertainment to keep them
Oh, that's a
occupied.
great idea.
Great.
Love that.
Diane says, I think the brew places are different than the actual bars. That's what I'm
Yeah.
thinking.
I just like that they're big, you know.
So here, as we're talking about restaurants here, thank you, Mark. I appreciate that.
What did Bottoms Up used to be though? That's my question.
I don't know.
I'm
It's
trying
always
to
been
remember.
Bottoms Up since I've been here.
Yeah, I don't remember.
You know who would know Russ? He used to party on Chippewa all the time. He was like that club guy when he was in his 20s.
Oh, I know he was.
Actually,
And he
that's funny
didn't
that you knew
always
that.
used to party on Chippewa. Sometimes
I
he used to
know.
party in Elmwood.
Remember
I knew Russ
Epic?
like in a former life before Ed and Russ were dating. Like do I remember Epic? Of course I do.
Bottles of champagne.
Oh, it's so funny.
Oh gosh, hysterical.
Anyhow.
Anyway, was it foreplay? Is what Zeke is wondering.
Oh, maybe it was. I can't remember.
Foreplay.
You guys, I'm too old. I don't remember anymore. And like now, I'm like, it's 10 o'clock. I'm out late. I gotta
Guys,
go to
oh
bed.
my gosh, some of my friends are like, Ed, do you want to come out at like 11 o'clock? We're gonna go to our friend is a DJ, and I'm like, absolutely not.
Wait, we wanted to talk about one more
Sharing.
thing too. Sharing before we leave. When you go out to dinner, maybe you're going out to Chippewa. Maybe
Right.
you're having a nice dinner.
Or Food Truck Tuesday, for instance.
Are you a meal sharer or are you getting your own entree and hands off?
The reason why we're asking is because Katie earlier this morning had said of Food Truck Tuesdays that you are, able then to go and get something from each truck and then split it among your group.
So, and that's what I love. You get this, you go to that truck, you go to I'll meet you, and then we all come back here and we
Anyway.
share.
Here's my thing. I would say absolutely not. Because I personally am scouting out all the trucks, finding the things that I want. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go, and like, I'm only getting one meal. So I'm going to X, Y, and Z truck because of all things, that's what was calling me. I hate sharing.
Huge mistake. Because if we went together and I said, boy, that caprese sandwich looks good, and you said it sure does, but also that banh mi looks good, then I say, oh,
Well, so I'll tell you what we did on Saturday.
We
We
go
split the
splitsies.
banh mi. But that was fine. That was a different story. Like we were not starving, but we were hungry enough where we didn't each want to get one. Do you know what I mean?
uh-huh.
If I'm getting dinner, no way.
I can't believe so many people will not want to go. Now, listen, I'm not asking to eat Ed's meal once he gets it. I am asking ahead of time that we pick 2 or 3 things and then we split those items.
Look at Kim. Don't touch my plate. My husband and I do that all the time at restaurants. If the other people,
Yeah.
nope, not happening.
Right. Yeah. See, and Carol's with me too. You do it at the fair because then you can have a variety of food.
I would rather give you the whole meal. Why? Then what's the point of even ordering that?
No, see, yeah, I'm a big fan of like if we pick 2 to 3 things, then we just share them all.
So we'll go to like River Grill, for instance.
Uh-huh.
Love River Grill.
Uh-huh.
We got this massive like Captain Jim's blah 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 seafood platter
Ooh.
the other day. It was $100. We split it between the two of us.
Okay.
We were both eating like kings. It had a 1.5 pound lobster, mussels, and clams, and all that stuff. That's something to share.
Sounds now. See, again, my sharers. You guys know me. I'm a germaphobe too. While I am a sharer, I am a germaphobe. So, Nita, yes, absolutely separate plates and separate silver, all this stuff. But we have decided ahead of time we're getting 2 to 3 things, and we're gonna split them all up.
And then the other thing about like, especially getting tapas, like I will never share that because, first of all, the dishes are this big, so you're getting like a bite of something, and then you're like, okay, $90. Like what? No, that's insane.
First off, I will say tapas are not my favorite
I hate them.
because, right, you do just get a little bit, but still, then I'm down to do like 4 things, and then we just share. We all have our own plates.
But don't you walk out hungry?
I rarely walk out of places hungry, Ed. I've managed to figure out how to not do that over the years.
Oh my gosh, Connie, do you love River Grill too? One of my favorites. So good. The oyster, what are these things? Scallops.
Oh,
Love scallops.
I love seafood. I cannot get into scallops. I try them every time because I'm like, this will be the time.
What about oysters?
Love.
Oh God,
Clams,
I could
love,
eat oysters
mussels,
all day
yep.
long. Slurp them down with a
It's just
martini.
something about the scallop.
Oh, they're so meaty.
God, oysters and oh my God, my poor girlfriend got married in Newport. I mean, those are oysters. They literally plucked them from the ocean that day.
Oh my God.
We like ate her at a house at home. I feel like it was great. She didn't care. It
Not
was
sorry.
Jimmy. She was like, "No, this is great. Let's get more oysters." We had a blast.
We love having you on Second Cup. Love having these conversations with you. Love sharing the space with Sheila Brown too and
Love
WUFO.
sharing the space. Apparently, we don't love sharing food. Come in full circle.
Have a great day.
Bye, guys.